Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog.
The truth is hidden in my memories, but I don't know what I can trust about what I think I know. However, since this all started, something has begun to stir inside of me. I made it to the jungle, and I followed the doctor again to the entrance of his secret base. The doctor told me that I was an android. There was a battle between me and one of his robots, but in the end, I got the 5th Chaos Emerald. I'm an android? I don't want to believe it, but to know for sure, I need the remaining emeralds. The pieces are coming together. This ultimate life form they keep referring to is the Black Hedgehog, and he died, and I'm its copy. I must be the android Dr. Eggman created. Then it's clear what needs to be done. Doctor, you're going straight to the place you created me from.
I mean, Shadow's not wrong. Eggman is going straight to his lab. So now let's play our final level here in the neutral route, Lava Shelter.
I'll make you wish you'd never created me.
So, starting off this stage, I want to go ahead and pause the game real quick because there's something we should be talking about at this point in our adventure. This stage only has 2 missions for us to complete. Even though we're on the neutral pathway, there is no neutral mission. So, we can help out Omega here by finding the center of the base, completing the hero mission, or
activate the volcanic defense systems.
We can help out Eggman to activate the volcanic defense systems and complete the dark mission. If we hit the Y button, we'll see that this pathway ends with 2 different outcomes. If we help out Eggman for the dark mission, we'll be sent one direction, while if we help Omega for the hero mission, we'll be sent to something completely different. When we're at the end of a route, we will have a decision between a hero or dark mission, and they'll bring us to 2 different outcomes, making for 2 different endings for your playthrough. For the sake of this route, let's go ahead and start things off by helping out Eggman here with the dark mission, and activate his volcanic defense systems.
Using the control stick while grinding will let me lean toward other rails to jump to. While grinding, pressing the
Shadow, Eggman is inside here. If you have a need to confront him, then assist me in my search.
So Omega's mission is pretty straightforward because all you gotta do is just get to the ending of this stage. But for Eggman's mission, it's going to be a little more complicated than that. So here, I'm just going to do some triangle jumping, get me some extra items. And I see there's a key here. I'm going to try my best to avoid that, because right now we're not focusing on keys.
Shadow, Dark has surrounded my base and are trying to bring me down. Activate the volcanic defense and shield the base with my lava magma.
So there you go, Eggman, we just helped you out. We activated one of your volcanic base systems. Activating all 5 of these will clear up the dark mission. But when we activate one of these defense units, the lava will rise up around us. So now we gotta be really careful with our footing, because one wrong move, and we will fall in the lava instantly dying. So playing through the dark mission this stage is very challenging for multiple reasons, and this is definitely the biggest one. We have a lot more instant death around us, but another thing is your score. You see, in this stage, we only have Eggman robots here to fight, so we gotta be careful about fighting things here, due to the fact that the Eggman robots count towards the hero mission. So if we kill any of his robots, this will not help towards our dark score, making things much harder for us in order to get a good ranking here, which is definitely a problem. So we're gonna do our best to avoid all of his robots and mainly just get through this mission as fast as we can. Hence why now I'm swapped to a rocket launcher, as using one of these will activate his defense unit in 2 shots, making this a lot easier for us to get through. This room is really scary because if you're coming here too fast, you can fall in the lava, but Devs thought of that, as that's why they added some grab bars near the very edge of that rail. So if you're falling too fast around it, or just going fast in general into the room, then you can grab yourself the bar and live. And be careful of everything around here, including the shadow androids, as those said robots, they have some pretty good lock-ons we learned from our last stage. So we'll just do our best to avoid their said lock-on shots. Shoot out 2 more blasts here, activate the 3rd defense unit, and from here, we want to go over towards the left. This here is when the hero and the dark mission pathway start to deviate in this level, as we will not be going this way when we're making our way through the hero mission. But for now, let's just grab ourselves a checkpoint and continue forward. And be very careful in this room specifically because there's a lot of lava and even some lasers we gotta jump around, so careful here. Activate this pillar, and there you go. Defense system number 4 is active. 1 more left. So this is going to be the hardest one to get to because we got a lot of timed platforms. We just got to wait around on. It's not the most ideal situation. So I'm just going to take this slow. As much as I want to get through this mission fast, sometimes you got to take things slow to go fast. Grab this pulley so we go straight up, and at this point, not a single platform is available. I'm gonna just wait. Be safer at this point just to wait instead of rushing. If I rushed this area, I could have made it in a very specific way where I could have just beat a cycle and just go right away instead of having to wait for the platforms to move back and forth. It's better safe than sorry. We should have more than enough time left over for a time bonus to still be a pretty massive bonus towards the overall score. But at this point, just go down this hallway. We got 1 more trail rings here. Right behind this said defense unit is a checkpoint, and luckily for us, the shadow androids activate the pillar, clearing the dark mission.
The doctor knows the truth about my existence. Nobody lays a hand on him except me.
I must know more about my android past. And that completes the dark mission.
Perfect.
You did very well, Shadow Android. You have surpassed expectations, equal to that of the real Shadow. Excellent. Now give me those emeralds.
Never!
What?
I didn't collect them to hand them over to you. I collected them to destroy you.
How dare you? I created you. I gave you life. I gave you an order, or have you forgotten? Idiot! Perhaps I need to teach you a lesson! I'll turn both of you into scrap with my latest and greatest invention!
Final target confirmed. Commencing combat.
Get ready for a real blast! It's time for missile fever!
So here's the boss for the neutral pathway for Darkseid, the Egg Dealer. How this boss fight works is you have 3 different slots you must interact with. Hitting these will give you a multitude of different outcomes, one of them here being the one we just activated, bombs. If Eggman activates these, then he will use these set abilities on Shadow. But if you activate it, you will get the ability.
No, not Shadow Fever! Death to all who oppose me!
Eggman, I don't know why you have Shadow Fever programmed into this thing. I think this is probably a detriment to you, but you know what? I'm not complaining. 3 Chaos Blasts. I like it. So we can get about 2 blasts in before the thing is going to run out, as Eggman is so far away that we're not going to really be able to get the drop on him. If you don't get a complete pair, then you just reset things, and you have to just try again. And this is pretty much the entire boss fight. His roulette can cycle between a multitude of different things, including Shadow Fever, rings, robots, missiles, and bombs. And that's pretty much this entire fight in a nutshell. And you can fight this guy in one of multiple ways. You can just focus on the slots. You can wait until he gets a failed result and get some guns in either the center of the stage or also around the surroundings, depending where you're standing. Or you can even just spam Chaos Blasts once you get yourself Shadow Fever. There are multiple ways you can fight Egg Dealer. But for this fight, We're gonna just play with Gambler's Fallacy and keep on rolling those slots and seeing what we get. Stay away from that bomb, because if you're too close to it, it will hit you, and it's a really devastating attack. Although for our sake, it only takes away 10 rings. For Eggman, it takes away a good chunk of his health. By activating these missiles, that should be enough damage to defeat the Egg Dealer.
What? No! This can't be!
Sorry, Doctor, but this is the end for you.
But now with the Egg Dealer defeated, that's it for the dark side of the neutral pathway.
Perfect. Finally, I've got all the Chaos Emeralds.
I made you, and this is how you repay me?
I am Shadow Android, the ultimate life form, a copy of Shadow the Hedgehog. With the power of these emeralds, I will be stronger than him. This is who I am.
What?
Goodbye, Doctor.
So for beating one of the two bosses here, on the neutral pathway, we unlocked ourselves the Vacuum Egg, a brand new weapon that we can use anytime we find ourselves a Shadow Crate in any of the levels here in Shadow the Hedgehog. And now with that, we have beating our first path. But there's something we should talk about, and that comes in terms of how you get the other ending on that said pathway. So now that we beat the dark side boss of the neutral pathway, we are taking back to our story mode menu here. And now we can start up a brand new game. If we go to library, we can see the path that we beat is called an Android's Rebellion. And that path takes you all the way through from neutral up until the very end where you turn dark and fight Eggman. But notice how we still have the other boss fight that we can go ahead and complete in that said pathway, as that path does end with 2 different missions, so we need to go back and play that said level again. Unfortunately for our sake though, you can't play the level via mission select mode, as doing that will not count towards beating the game and adding another entry to your library. So for us to see the hero side ending of the neutral path, I need to make my way all the way back to Lava Shelter through the story mode. So let's go ahead and start up a new game and head back to Lava Shelter. So as I'm making my way back towards Lava Shelter, I have to replay all of the stages leading up to that specific stage in the neutral pathway. Now, whenever you have to replay the game to get to that specific ending that you so choose to work your way towards in Shadow the Hedgehog, you don't have to go down the exact same path as you did your last time of playing, but for continuity's sake, I am going to be playing through the entirety of the neutral path in the same way as I did leading up to getting the dark ending on the neutral pathway here. That way, it'll be basically the same continuity-wise going into the hero mission. And this is what I'll be doing going forward for any repeat playthroughs I have to do just to get the other ending on a set pathway. But while I'm making my way through Westopolis, I want to talk about a very useful glitch that you can use in the GameCube and PlayStation 2 versions of Shadow the Hedgehog. The glitch I am talking about in question is Infinite Chaos Control. So, when we fill out our Chaos Control meter, we can press the Y button and we can fly for as long as that said Chaos Control meter is filled, which isn't really that much time. You have a few seconds of zipping through a stage before you run out of hero meter and then have to just continue the stage on foot until you can build up more Chaos Control and just keep on using it until you're out of the meter again and just rinse and repeat. But if you interact with a checkpoint and press the X button and then the Y button immediately afterwards, basically trying to press these buttons close to the same time, you can use Chaos Control while you're trying to select a different checkpoint. So at this point, we're stuck in the checkpoint menu, but we're using Chaos Control without our meter depleting, and this also pauses the in-game time too. So you can use this to your advantage to not only zip through any stage that you desire without having to stop whatsoever using Chaos Control, but it also will give you a massive time bonus. So anytime replaying levels, keep this glitch in the back of your head, as it's one of the most useful glitches here in Shadow the Hedgehog. But we made our way to the end of Westopolis, and at this point, I got 4 more stages to play through, so I'll just meet you guys back at Lava Shelter.
Perfect.
Five levels and a boss fight later, we're finally back to Lava Shelter. This time around, let's complete this neutral pathway run by helping out Omega on the hero side.
I'll make you wish you'd never created me.
So this time around, that sentence that Shadow is saying, that's a little more true this time around, as we are going to be teaming up with Omega and stopping Eggman. So, Omega's mission is simple. Just get to the end. Now, we can actually fight Eggman's robots and not have to worry all too much about a point threshold, because these robots will help us for this said mission get more points, which is going to be really good for my sake because there's so many Eggman robots in this stage. Really, really good for score. But I'm going to take this top half here, as grinding on this rail, we'll find ourselves a shadow box. Inside the shadow box, we have the vacuum gun. So we grab this gun, which is based around Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, a game that released around this time on the Nintendo GameCube. So this is a reference to another Sonic team-made game. And it's a really nice little reference. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this vacuum gun, and anything in the general vicinity, we will suck up into the gun, which is extremely powerful. It can suck up a majority of the different enemies here in this stage, which is really going to be helpful. We don't even have to think about fighting things this time around. It's that good. So here I'm just going to flip over the gate and go down below, as here we can just go straight through this path. And here I'm just going to take this top pathway because there's a robot up here, suck him up, and now let's continue forward. But here I'm going to be careful not to use the vacuum gun right in front of this box, as it will actually suck in the box and not give us the weapon, which is not ideal. So I'm just gonna now be very careful and make my way to the checkpoint and use Chaos Control and zip our way through a decent chunk of level, not that much, but enough so we can just get a move on. So here, get ourselves an extra life and suck up an Eggman robot. And now, when we did that, we got ourselves some extra life. So when you suck up 20 different objects with the vacuum gun, you will get yourself 1 life. So this weapon is really helpful to have, especially you can stack on top of multiple vacuum guns to get yourself more ammo, because this thing can just give you lives pretty easily, especially in the levels that have a lot more shadow boxes. If you have any live grind in this game, the vacuum gun is your gun. It's one of my favorite weapons in this game just because of how useful it is. But this won't suck up every single enemy in Shadow the Hedgehog. Any big scale enemy, this thing will not do anything against. So you have to keep that in mind. It's really only for the small fry enemies. Speaking of which, here's some small fry enemies here. I'm gonna stay away from the clown robots, because if we're too close when that explosion goes off, we will get hurt. So I'm just gonna keep my distance. Now that we got those guys all sucked in, let's go. Let's suck in the rest of these guys here. I'm just gonna continue grinding at this point, because we're sucking in enemies so fast that we're filling right back our hero meter. And we're ready to go ahead and rip out a Chaos Control, which is convenient to do right here at the end of our path, because this will take us straight to the goal ring. Behind the goal ring is a checkpoint if you need to go back for whatever reason, but this is the end of the hero mission.
Doctor, at last I'll hear the truth from you.
Now teaming up with Omega, let's finish this neutral pathway run by being a good guy.
Perfect.
Nice to see you, Shadow Android. And you too, Omega. It certainly looks as if you've, well, done quite a bit of damage down there. But did you really think that you could challenge me?
Dr. Eggman, I will destroy you and reign supreme.
Yes, Doctor. You will regret ever having created me. You're going straight to hell.
Why, you're nothing but pieces of scrap metal. Once I'm done with you, you'll be thrown in the junkyard. You will feel my wrath. I'll turn both of you into scrap with my latest and greatest invention.
Final target confirmed. Commencing combat.
Get ready for a real blast. It's time for missile fever. Stop that!
Oh, we're not gonna stop anytime soon, Eggman. In fact, the fun is only just about to begin. So, right now we want the Egg Dealer to try to get a matching set here on roulette and then fail. Doing that, now we get guns just dropped out of the ceiling in these conveniently spawning crates. So, now that we got ourselves a weapon, we want to play for Shadow Fever, because we want that Chaos Blast to have infinite ammo. Once we have infinite ammo, we can just unleash our bullets directly in the Eggman's face, instantly winning the fight. But at this point, playing for Shadow Fever is a little bit luck-based because we are playing with a slot machine after all. You can manipulate the slot machine to get you the exact result you want, but it is pretty difficult. So in this case, it's just a luck-based thing for me, as I'm not really good at manipulating this said slot. But now we got ourselves Shadow Fever. This means we have our Dark Gauge completely filled. And now with our infinite ammo, let's just mash the B button and fire directly at Eggman's forehead. Every time we hit Eggman, we will slow down the Egg Breaker here ever so slightly, which makes it even easier to unload unlimited ammo into Eggman's face, making this boss a piece of cake.
Sorry, Doctor, but this is the end for you.
Now with the Egg Dealer defeated once again, that is the neutral pathway completed, this time around as a hero.
Perfect. Finally, I've got all the Chaos Emeralds.
I made you, and this is how you repay me?
I am Shadow Android, the ultimate battle life form created by Eggman. You may have created me, Doctor, but I will now lead this empire and androids will rule. This is who I am.
Eggman, target acquired. Locked and loaded. Fire.
What?
Goodbye, Doctor.
So, in the dark ending, we're confirmed to be an android, and we're rebelling against Eggman. In the hero ending, we're once again told that we are an android, and we're rebelling against Eggman. Just now leading the army of robots instead. Yeah, okay, sure, I guess we're an android now. What a set of endings. Although, as you can see, the neutral endings are basically the same between the hero and the dark path. There's just some slight deviations with them. But we're back here in Lava Shelter one final time because we need to go ahead and grab ourselves those said secret keys. So, starting off here in the very beginning, our first key is in the top half here, right after the first checkpoint. You want to make sure you don't fall down. If you do, just reset back to that said first checkpoint and try again. Our second key is going to be right after the second checkpoint. But we're wanting to activate all of the Eggman defense mechanisms here because I want the lava to be raised up. And there's a very specific reason why that we'll be going into a little bit later on here. But for now, we're going to be activating the Eggman switches along the way. Not all of them to end the mission for the dark side, but just a few of them just to raise some lava here. But our second key is down below here when you take the top path. You can go straight ahead or flip the platform to go down below. You want to flip that said platform and head down for your said key. Making our way to our next key now. It is past the third checkpoint. We want to be very careful about this one because, needless to say here, we're activating another one of Eggman's defense mechanisms here, so the lava is going to raise up, meaning that we have to take the top platform this time. But if you take the top path, that's perfectly fine, because here's a key. So grab the key, and now let's get out of here.
Damn, not here.
Okay, I didn't mean literally, but sure, I guess we clip out of bounds. Sometimes that just happens in Sonic games, including Shadow Zone game. At this point, this is past the fourth defense system we're at right now, so we want to go ahead and climb up to the very top of this room to get ourselves our fourth key. From here, we do need to go back though, because our final key is on the hero pathway, so hit the set checkpoint and go back one. This will take us right before that fourth defense system, and right next to the third defense system. But this third defense system is active, so we gotta be very careful here not to fall down as the lava is rising up, which does make this section a little bit different to get to for the hero side, because you have to go around the room this time around, instead of just taking platforms straight to the hero section, which takes you to the goal ring here in Lava Shelter. And speaking of which, that is where our final key is located. This is a very long grinding section, but your key is at the very end of this rail grinding section, specifically on the rightmost rail at the very end right in front of the goal ring. So once we make it down this very long room, we want to go ahead and flip right over to the right rail immediately to grab our fifth and final key. But now with all the keys, we want to head back to checkpoint number 1, as that is where our secret door is located. Immediately turn our camera here to the right, and the secret door will be right here in front of us. Going inside, we got ourselves a couple boxes here that have a bunch of Eggman guns that we can go ahead and collect, and an air saucer. So this reward is very interesting in this level, because the air saucer will allow us to traverse now in these lava sections without having to worry about just immediately falling and dying. So now we can go to different parts of Lava Shelter that we weren't able to traverse normally. So in this case, we're going pathways that can lead us to extra goodies. And this is why I raised the lava throughout all these different sections here in the Lava Shelter, as raising the lava is key if you want to use this said air saucer throughout the entire level, because raising the lava here will make it much easier for the air saucer to traverse the Lava Shelter as a whole. So now with the air saucer, we can take this bottom pathway here right after the second checkpoint and grab ourselves 3 extra lives and also a health refill for our vehicle. So if the air saucer took any damage up to this point, we can luckily refill its said health with that simple item. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting reward, because it allows you to now go to certain sections of Lava Shelter that you weren't able to traverse normally. Is this needed for anything? No. Does this help you in the hero mission? No. In fact, taking the air saucer might actually make getting the A rank for the hero mission a little bit harder now, because going through this whole level on the air saucer itself isn't the fastest thing. As we can see, the air saucer has a speed cap, so it can only go so fast. And once you hit a rail, whatever speed you hit that said rail with, that is going to be your top speed riding that rail going forward on the air saucer. There is no way to go any faster on the rail, unlike when you're on it normally with Shadow by just pressing the X button. If you press the X button when on the air saucer, you just get off the said air saucer, so that's not going to help you at all. So you gotta keep that in mind too. The air saucer is limited by its overall speed, and it's not the fastest thing around, but it will allow you to move in any section that has lava. But at this point, we're at the second to last checkpoint, and the air saucer now is pretty much useless for the rest of the stage. So this is when you would get off the said air saucer for either the dark mission or even the hero mission, and just continue forward from there. But that is it for everything in Lava Shelter. We got all the keys,
Doctor,
and we got all
at
of the
last I'll hear
rankings
the
here.
truth
So
from
with
you.
that said, enjoy the credits for the Neutral Pathway and Shadow the Hedgehog with the theme of Waking Up performed by Julian K. For beating the neutral path via the other ending, we got ourselves our vacuum egg now to level 2. So now our vacuum gun is even more powerful, giving it more ammo in the process. With that, that's the entire hero and dark side paths of the neutral playthrough complete. And now we can see completing the neutral path via the hero mission let us down a new Empire's beginning. But that makes 2 different levels now completed. And with that, we are back at square one, as now we gotta start up another playthrough to go through a different route to get ourselves another ending to Shadow the Hedgehog. But we'll start up our adventure once more next time. So with that said, next time on Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog, we'll start our game anew once more and choose a different pathway to go down. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.